Good evening, East Alabama, and welcome into the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. We want to welcome you in on this Monday afternoon. Hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're ready for a great week on the Locker Room. We're going to have golf highlights this week. Hopefully have some more highlights of other sports as well. So hope to bring you guys some local action this week with the highlights. We'll have an interview late this week, with the AHSAA Indian track team. We'll talk with the head coach of the AHSAA track team, Coach Aaron Jackson, talk with a few of his track players, and that'll be later this week, either on Thursday or Friday. So we've got another great week prepared for you guys with all local content. I hope you enjoyed the Eli Gold interview on Thursday and Friday. I do apologize that we did not get the full interview out on Saturday. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to release that to you guys so you can see that from his home. But I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope you're prepared for a great week. We're going to start today with some good news. The Alabama High School Athletic Association released the all-state basketball teams over the weekend, and we had quite a couple players really from East Alabama, especially in the Calhoun County area. 2 players from Calhoun County that did make first-team all-state. Now, there was a second team and an honorable mention threw in, but we're only going to have graphics of the first-team all-state. And so I'm going to go ahead and share those with you, the all-state teams. And then in the second portion of today's show, if you also don't know by now, this past Friday afternoon, the reclassification alignments were released for basketball, wrestling, bowling, and indoor track and field. So we're going to go ahead and update you on what the realignments look like for the next 2 years when it comes to basketball, wrestling, and bowling here in East Alabama. Again, the AHSAA released their all-state basketball teams. We, of course, don't have any Class 7A teams here in East Alabama, so there's no reason for us to talk about Class 7A. But in Class 6A, we did have an all-state player from right here in Calhoun County, and this was girls basketball from Oxford High School. Zayana Whitfield of Oxford made first-team all-state. You see Zayana right here with her family. This picture is from Zayana herself, from her social media profile picture. And Zayana with her family, there's when she was at Tennessee State. Of course, she is headed to Tennessee State after high school to play college basketball. She made first-team all-state along with Tamiria Jones from Huffman, Leah Brooks from Hazel Green, Jaria Branch from Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, and Jasmine Bingham from Theodore. She was the only girl to make all-state from our East Alabama area. Now, in boys action, we didn't have any first-team all-state players, but we did have one second-team all-state player that was also from Oxford, and that was Jalen Alexander. So he made second-team all-state. So again, Jalen Alexander from Oxford made second-team all-state. In Class 5A, really, we don't have a lot of Class 5A teams around here. Only Alexandria. We did not have any girls that made first-team all-state. We did not have any girls that made second or third. We did not have anyone that made honorable mention for girls. Now, for the boys, we did not have any first-team All-States, but Quindavian McDowell of Alexandria did make second-team All-State. So congratulations to Quindavian McDowell on making second-team All-State. Now, in Class 4A, we did have one person that made All-State, and I apologize. We don't have a graphic for her. That is my fault. But Tykeria Smith of Anniston, she made first-team All-State for the Anniston Bulldogs ladies. So Tykeria Smith made first-team All-State for Anniston. Now, second-team All-State, we did have a second-team All-State from Cleburne County, and that is Faith Brown. So Faith Brown made second-team All-State. So congratulations to Faith Brown on making second-team All-State for ladies basketball. And then we did have an honorable mention from Anniston, which was a Kayla Perry. She was an honorable mention. Now, we did have a first-team All-State in boys in Class 4A, and it is Devin Barksdale of Jacksonville High School. This picture is from Devin Barksdale's social media. It's from his Facebook. So, again, that's where this picture was found. And this is Devin Barksdale of Jacksonville, who's a junior guard, and he made first-team All-State. He's joined by Micah Castor of Jackson, Davis Dare of American Christian Academy, Evan Griffin from Geneva, and Stephen Williams from Escambia County. So, Devin Barksdale from Jacksonville would make first-team All-State. And we did have a second-team All-State as well from White Plains. That was Josh Wheeler. So congratulations to Josh Wheeler on making second-team All-State. And those were the only ones for boys action in Class 4A. Now in Class 3A, we did not have any girls that made All-State. We had one third-team All-State, which was Ava Pope from Piedmont High School. Ava Pope's a senior, and she was third-team All-State. She was the only girl to make it. In the boys, we did not have any first place, second places, or third places that made All-State. So we didn't have any Class 3A players that made it for the boys. In Class 2A, same thing. When it comes to the girls, we did not have anyone that made All-State. When it came to the boys, we also did not have anyone in our area that made it. Now, if we go outside of our area a little bit, now we had a couple players that made second team and third team in Etowah County, but first team shouldn't be a surprise here. First team All-State for girls basketball is Ace Austin. She's also the 2023-2024 Gatorade Alabama Girls Player of the Year. She was also selected for the North-South All-Star Basketball Game along with Devin Barksdale. Coach Justin Bowen from Southside Guys will help coach that ladies team. So this picture was found from the Spring Garden Network on social media. There's Ace Austin. Again, she's the 2023-2024 Gatorade Alabama Player of the Year for girls basketball, but she is also first team All-State. So she is first team All-State, and she's actually joined by her teammate, and we don't have a graphic of her, but she also joined first team by her teammate, or her teammate made first team All-State as well, which is Libby Brown. So congratulations to Libby Brown as well on making first team All-State. And then Chloe Rule was third team All-State from Spring Garden. And the coach of the year, we already shared this with you before, was, of course, Ricky Austin from Spring Garden. He was the coach of the year for the girls. And so he much deserved. He's probably got more state championships than the years I've been alive. I mean, not fit literally, but I mean, he seems like he's won a lot. And for the boys, second team All-State from Spring Garden was John Welch. And so those are your All-State players from East Alabama, right here in Calhoun County, Cleveland County area. And also, we mentioned a couple from just north of us. And so, yeah, congratulations to all the players that made All-State. And, hey, we're going to talk more about basketball when we come back in a minute. We're going to share the AHSAA's Re-Alignment. We're going to look at all the local region areas that conclude teams in East Alabama. So do not go away. We just are getting started right here on The Locker Room. I'm Namath Pitts. We'll be right back, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you The Locker Room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston and you can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welburn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond, and now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you The Locker Room. Hey, we continue on The Locker Room on this Monday afternoon, and speaking of Ted's, I got to tell you, they really are top notch when it comes to needing anything. I mentioned a couple of the things that they do for you. That partnership with Welburn Cabinets is, I think, one of the coolest things because it's not just indoor stuff they can do for you, but they can also do the outdoor stuff as well. And so I just want to tell you, Ted's Floors and Beyond, I would highly suggest that you go see them if you need any work done. And no, we really appreciate their just sponsorship and partnering with the Locker Room each and every day to bring you the best East Alabama local content. Hey, this past Friday, the Alabama High School Athletic Association released their realignments for the basketball, or for the, I guess we could say winter sports, needless to say, because it was more than just basketball. You also had wrestling, bowling, indoor track and field. Now, we're going to talk about the basketball realignments. We're going to talk about the wrestling realignments and the bowling. The indoor track and field's pretty self-explanatory. You're all in one section, depending on your classification. So, of course, 1A, 2A, 3A, you're all one section. And so I didn't feel a need to necessarily go through those with you guys. And so we're going to start with basketball, though, and we're going to start in Class 1A. So let's go ahead and start with the first area, and this is Class 1A Area 12. Well, I tell you what, Faith Christian, Spring Garden can't avoid each other anymore. They are in an area now together in Class 1A Area 12. And you may go, this is a lot of colors. Well, that's the goal. I want it to stick out. I want you to see it. I want you to be able to not miss it. Hey, this is probably one of the largest areas in Class 1A in Area 12. And Class 1A Area 12 for the next 2 years is going to feature the Faith Christian Lions. Now, obviously, Coach Corey Hughes is going to take a break this year. He's going to go to a ministry school up in, or be a part of a ministry opportunity up in Washington, D.C. I believe it's for 6 months. I could be wrong on that. I apologize if I have my information wrong. But the plan is for him to come back when he gets back and still continue to coach Faith Christian, from what I understand. So the Faith Christian boys are going to have to navigate next season without their head coach in Corey Hughes. They're going to have to go through Galesville Trojan. Welcome to the Ville, as they say, not Jacksonville, Galesville. The Trojans are in that area in Area 12. Jacksonville Christian Thunder, Coach Tommy Miller, Coach Bryant, and the Thunder are going to be in Area 12. You see it right there, the Spring Garden Panthers. Coach Ricky Alston's team now got Faith Christian, Galesville, Jacksonville Christian Academy. And the final team in this area is the Donahoe Falcons. So, hey, some good local teams. Jacksonville Christian, Faith Christian, Donahoe, Spring Garden, not far. Now, obviously, Galesville's a little bits away from where we're at right now, but in terms of nice little, competition between East Alabama teams, I think this is a really good area in Area 12. Hey, we moved to Class 2A. Now, obviously, we don't have a lot of 2A teams. We've only got Rambert and Pleasant Valley. So let's take a look at this area, which is in the south. So these teams will head south. This is 2A Area 8. It features the Coosa Central Cougars out of Rockford. So Coosa Central won a state championship, probably been about 4 or 5 years now, but Sacred Heart's final year of basketball, Coosa Central took them down. It'll feature the Generals of Horseshoe Bend. I just love that mascot, the Generals. That's pretty cool. All right, you see the Rambert Bulldogs right there. They're going to go out of that region with Pleasant Valley and Woodland. They're going to go into a region with Coosa Central and Horseshoe Bend. And then you got Vincent. And I got to tell you, Vincent to Coosa Central, Vincent to Horseshoe Bend, that is not a quick drive. Vincent's over in the Pell City area, and they're going to have to drive basically to Rambert. I mean, that's probably, an hour and a half drive probably? So imagine on a Tuesday night having to drive an hour and a half for an area basketball game. But that is what Vincent's going to have to do. They're going to have to go to Horseshoe Bend, Coosa Central. So the only con about this area, I would say, is the travel for these teams. So, all right, let's look at Area 12, or Area 13, I should say. Pleasant Valley goes from happen to go to Rambert and happen to go to Woodland to Coach Hood and Coach Muncher are a little bit closer to competition. Now, this is really similar to the baseball area right now for Dalton Turner. But for Coach Hood and Coach Muncher in Pleasant Valley, you're going to have Cedar Bluff. Cedar Bluff moving up from Class 1A to Class 2A. So they're going to go in that. All right, you got the Gaston Bulldogs. Hey, Gaston is on the come up. That is a team you have to keep an eye on moving forward. That program has built some incredible facilities. And then the final team in that area with Pleasant Valley is the Wildcats of Sandrock. That's probably the furthest drive Pleasant Valley would have, but arguably not awful travel, especially compared to right now where they're going to Rambert and Woodland. So that's 2A Area 13 for Coach Hood. We move to Class 3A. We have 2 local Class 3A areas. And I got to tell you, if you're Welborn, if you're Coach Dempsey or Coach Lumpkin, if you're Coach Bo Wynn and Coach Burns, and if you're Coach Ginn, I think you got to love this area because you essentially keep those same 3 together that have been fighting for that 2 spot, and you drop the champion of the area, Piedmont. So if you're Sachs, Weber, and Weaver, you now avoid Piedmont. Now you get Randolph County, which is a little bit of a drive, and Randolph County's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Randolph County's, bad, but you like that a little bit better than Piedmont. I think this area is wide open, especially for Sachs and Weaver with kind of what they've got coming back. So I really like early look at this. I think Sachs is going to be good. I really like Weaver, though. I really like the pieces they have coming back and really like what they could do in Area 9 next year. Now, Area 12, this is going to be a tough area. It's going to be tough. You got Glencoe, who's really good. I mean, let's just talk about what Coach Chambliss does up there. He does a really, really good job, really good program. AHSAA, you got to feel like they're going to improve under Kyle Wilson. Feel like they got to improve under Aaron Jackson. Two really good programs. Piedmont, we know what Piedmont's capable of. We know the success they have. And then Westbrook Christian is always really, really good. So if you're Piedmont, you went from a little bit of a weaker area to a much stronger area, certainly, but they're not backing down from the competition at all. But again, how about the travel? Travel's not going to be bad here. Piedmont to Glencoe to Westbrook Christian, not far at all. No further than Sachs, Welborn, and Weaver. So, and for AHSAA, same thing. Piedmont, not too far. It's a little bit of drive. Glencoe, all you got to do is go up 431. Same with Westbrook. You can go right through Southside into Rainbow City. So, not terrible travel for these teams in 3A Area 12. All right, 4A Area 8. They're staying together, and basically, it's the same four teams that it's been. 4A Area 8 doesn't change at all. Anniston's still south, and they're in there with Hanley. Coach Bullock, Coach Courtney Strain Screws. When it comes to female basketball, Talladega always got athletes. Mumford certainly improved. So 4A Area 8 stays the same. Anniston, Hanley, Mumford, and Talladega. The other area in Class 4A is Area 12. This is where we get interesting. We had White Plains, Cleburne County, and Cherokee County, and Jacksonville. But Jacksonville moving to 5A, they were replaced by Alexandria. And Alexandria was, White Plains kryptonite this year. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Chris Randall's team will do next year, losing a lot of seniors. Alexandria getting Quindavia McDowell back, I believe. So it's going to be a Cherokee County. It's very solid. Cleburne County. I don't think enough people are talking about the improvements that Cleburne County made this year and the improvements they're going to make next year. I think they're going to be even better. So this is going to be a very, very great area in my opinion. Going to be great basketball for East Alabama fans. Alexandria, Cherokee County, Cleburne County, White Plains. Keep an eye on Cleburne County as a wild card, in my opinion, when it comes to this area moving forward. All right, we only have one area in 5A. Jacksonville's going to be in Area 11. Going to face a little bit different competition than they've been facing. I don't think this area is difficult, actually. I think this is probably a little bit easier, in my opinion, than the area they were at in 4A. It's just going to be a little bit tougher as a whole. But Jacksonville, the Golden Eagles, Coach Mize and Coach Busan are going to be in an area with Lincoln, who's always got athletes. They're going to be really good. And then St. Clair County is going to be really well coached. So they are going to have to do a little bit of traveling. St. Clair County is, a little bit down I-20. Lincoln, not too far, but overall not a hard area, in my opinion, for Jacksonville. And then in Class 6A, they're definitely going to have to travel, but they're used to doing that. That's what happens when you're the only large school in the area. But for Oxford, for Coach Van Meter and Coach Bennett, they're going to have to go to Pell City, and then Shades Valley is going to be a nice little trip down the interstate. How about the Mounties? Really good team. Pell City, really good team. This is a tough area. This is a tough area for Oxford, but Oxford's going to be very, very, very talented. The boys are next year. The girls obviously lose Zayana Whitfield, but I think Coach Bennett would tell you she was very surprised at just how good the girls were this year in terms of the young girls. So I think they got a lot of young girls that are going to be really good. I'd keep an eye on Oxford for sure, but Shades Valley and Pell City is going to be a tough area. So, hey, those are all of the basketball realignments for 2024, 2025. And so we've still got more alignments coming back. We're going to share wrestling. We're going to break down what that looks like. We're going to share bowling. But again, when it comes to indoor track and field, it's the same as it's been. If you're in a certain classification, you're in one area. So, hey, don't go away. We continue on in just a minute. You're watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down, our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. Hey, I want to remind you to tune in to East Alabama Now News tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards will have your local news. John Holder has your weather. And then for me in sports, we're going to talk about the White Plains girls golf team who won a tournament this past weekend. And we're going to break down all the games for tonight. And I'm actually going to be out myself at Silver Lakes this afternoon getting highlights of a match between the Weaver Bearcats, who are the host team, and they are going to be competing with Alexandria and White Plains. So 2 of the top golf teams in the area are going to go head-to-head tonight, along with Coach Justin Brown and Weaver, who's much improved. We'll have highlights of that here tomorrow. I'll be out with the number ones. Now, if you're not familiar with that terminology, essentially what I mean is that each team has their number 1 player, right? That's their best player. I will be going with them throughout the course this evening, starting on hole number 9 on the Mine Breaker at Silver Lakes. And I'll go with them the whole way. I'll keep the camera on them as the number 1's basically the best player on each team compete against the other best players. So you'll get those highlights tomorrow. I do apologize for the 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. If you're a mom, dad, and you're like, well, he didn't show my kid. Well, I went with who Coach chose as their number 1s, and I followed them throughout the course. So that's where I'll be at today at Silver Lakes. So if you're there, come holler at me. All right, let's go ahead and get right back into the realignments for the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Let's go to my favorite sport. Nathan and Ashley, if you can hear me back there, this is the greatest sport ever invented. There is nothing like the sport of wrestling, and I think our numbers prove that. I got to tell you, the support we got for wrestling this year was absolutely astonishing. It was phenomenal, and it's a testament to the growth that this sport is having in the state of Alabama. Also, I want to send a congratulations. They have nothing to do with East Alabama, but Montevallo University's first wrestling season, and Gabe Hicksonbaugh is a national champion. He won the NCAA Division II national championship this past weekend in the 133-pound weight class. I remember when Gabe wrestled at Thompson, he was an absolute hammer, and he has given Montevallo their first national champion in school history. In their first year, he transferred from Campbell University and won a national championship. So the sport of wrestling is growing, and Gabe Hicksonbaugh is only the first of many more national champions to come, in my opinion. So let's start in Class 1A through 4A. We're going to start with the duals. So this is the duals region. And one thing I did notice about the duals regions is, boy, they are big. And by what I mean is there is a lot of teams in these regions. You went from maybe 3, maybe 4, to now we got 7. Now, there is something intriguing about this Class 1A area Region 4 duel. You got Sachs. Coach Goki will not be there next year. You got Welborn. They lose Noah Screws and Andrew Salter. Jerry Lopez. So, Caden Keene comes back. ASB, Alabama School for the Blind, they lose, obviously, their state champion as well. But Ranburne, Coach Meter's got a really, really good team coming back. They're going to be really good. Anniston, Talladega, they're in the region, but guys, they haven't really fielded a team in the past. I mean, I didn't really see them have a team this year. I mean, I remember seeing them 2 years ago, but I didn't see either one of these teams this past season. So maybe they just couldn't get the numbers out. But needless to say, the state has them in this region. And then Coach Cleburne County. Now, I've heard some buzz about Cleburne County. I don't know if it's true, so I'm not going to say the buzz I've heard. But I do know that you got Austin Mayfield coming back, who's a state champion. I know they're going to be really stacked, going to be really good. They're always really good. They're coached really well. And so Cleburne County, I'd have to say again, just an early look at this. I think Ben Carroll's team's going to be improved. Certainly opening a club up there, Tough House Wrestling Club, Dalton Carroll running out of Welborn. But you still got to feel like right now, early on, Ranburne and Cleburne County, those two certainly seem to return the most guys, obviously, that made a deep run this year. So it's going to be really well. Ranburne returning, obviously, state champion at 106, returning state runner-up at 285. For Cleburne County, Austin Mayfield's back. So going to be. I think you got to look at Ranburne, Cleburne County, and Welborn, and probably say those are your top three in 4A, in Class 1A through 4A Region 4. Now, in Class 1A through 4A Region 6, it got tougher for Weaver. Andy Fulmer's team gets Alexandria dropping from 5A to 4A. And look at this. This is a stacked region. I mean, Alexandria, Coach Hartzog does a phenomenal job. And their best group of guys is these 8th graders that are going to be freshmen that are coming through. Weaver's best group is these 8th graders that are going to be freshmen. And then Cherokee County has some really solid dudes. Now, they did have, some seniors that they're obviously going to miss, but still got some really solid dudes. And if Ohatchee didn't get hit by the injury bug this year, they were going to be really good. And now, obviously, Piedmont loses Isaac Bailey, but look at the amount of talent that Coach Bragg has coming back. I mean, Miles Bailey's a hammer. And then Weaver, 3-time defending state champions, defending duels champion. And then White Plains, I don't think enough is going to be said about them. Mason Holmes is state champ. He'll be back. They're young. They're still getting older. They're getting better. And then Pleasant Valley, same thing. They're starting They start a youth program this next year, so they're going to start having the youth program feed the varsity program. So Coach Nix and Pleasant Valley are going to be getting much improved. This is a stacked region. Now, still feel like Weaver's the favorite. I think Alexandria obviously likes their matchup probably with the other teams in this area or this region. But Weaver's it's going to be tough for Coach Fulmer. You got Tallahassee dropping from 5A to 4A. Tallahassee right there, top 3 in Class 5A. Duels, top 2. So it's going to be tough for Fulmer's team if they're going to make it 4 straight. And they're going to have to go through this duel to repeat as dual champion. All right, now let's look at Class 6A Region 6 for Coach Rusty Mayfield and the Oxford Yellow Jackets. They got a couple teams that are kind of close to them. Obviously, Southside's a team that stands out. They're moving up from 5A to 6A. They're now in there with Oxford. Pell City's not too far from Oxford. They play each other in about every sport. Gadsden City, not far, but then you do have Clay Chalkwell and Pinson Valley from the Birmingham area. I can tell you right now, Southside to Clay Chalkwell and Pinson Valley is not a short drive. So it'll be interesting to see where these teams choose to meet. I feel like Pell City would probably be the central location in terms of the host school if you were to do this all in one day. I don't know how they'll choose to do it, but that's what I would do. But Clay Chalkwell, Oxford, Gadsden City, Pell City, Pinson Valley, and Southside are Class 6A Region 6. Let's take a look at the sectionals alignments. Pretty much the exact same as last one, starting with the South, looking at Class 1A through 4A South. You've got Anniston, Saxe, Cleburne County, Ranburne, and Welborn. So all of those teams will continue their trip down to Montgomery to Garrett Coliseum. And then the North is also the exact same as a year ago. So let's take a look at the North. And you see it right there. The only add here is Alexandria dropping from 5A to 4A. But Alexandria, White Plains, Pleasant Valley, Cherokee County, Weaver, Ohatchee, and Piedmont will all continue to be in the North section. All right, let's take a look at the girls. So the girls are officially an AHSAA sanctioned sport. Can we get a round of applause, please? Which means that now the girls will be wrestling their own sectional And it is Class 1A through 5A. So looking at 1A through 5A South for girls wrestling, you only have Cleburne County. They're going south, so they'll be headed south. And they'll be joined by Saxe, and they'll be joined by Welborn. So we have 3 girls teams that are headed south. Again, that is Saxe, Welborn, and Cleburne County. Now let's take a look at the girls north for Class 1A through 5A. And you'll see it, Alexandria. They'll be joined by a couple teams from East Alabama, Piedmont. They'll be joined by Weaver and White Plains. So we have 4 teams that are going to be in the girls 1A through 5A North. Again, that's White Plains, Weaver, Piedmont, and Alexandria. All right, the final sport that we're going to look at is bowling. So they released the region for bowling. Now, we only have one local team around here in East Alabama that has a bowling team, and that is, well, Oxford. And Oxford is going to be in Region 7. Now, they only have a couple local teams. This isn't the full region. This is only the local closest to Oxford. You have Oxford, Gadsden City, and Southside, but they will also be joined by Pinson Valley, Huffman, Hewitt-Trussville, Clay-Chalkville, and Centerpoint. So there will be 8 teams in this region. It'll be Centerpoint, Clay-Chalkville, you see Gadsden City, Hewitt-Trussville, Huffman, you see Oxford, Pinson Valley, and Southside. I only put the local teams on the graphic, but there are 5 other teams from the Birmingham area that are joining Oxford, Gadsden City, and Southside. All right, that's all of the realignments. I think we covered just about all of it. I'm looking at the clock. I got to get to Silver Lakes. So I hope you all have a great afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow, same time. We'll be back tomorrow on The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.